Hey folks, welcome back to the cabin. We are trying to outrun the snow in the winter. Winter is coming in quick, and this week's video I want to show what I do around the cabin to get prepared for the winter. I've got to tell you, the last couple weeks I've been visiting my son Shorts. Him and his wife had our second grandchild, a little girl, and we have had the pleasure of being able to spend some time with them. So I'm a little bit behind schedule on my fall activities. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it is starting to snow up here. The weather's dropping. I want to go ahead and I'll show you how to winterize the well. And we've got to go ahead and clean out the smoke pipe to the wood burning stove. I can show you some tips on how to clean the wood burning stove's glass. If there's one itch in my craw, it's when people have a beautiful wood burning stove, but you can't see the fire inside the wood burning stove. All you see is just a stain on the glass. Well, I'll show you how to get that stain out, and yeah, and we'll just go through the cabin and get it ready for the cold weather because it's coming in quick. We are in the middle of a snowstorm, so I'm a little bit behind on winterizing the cabin today. So what this is going to be is it's going to be kind of a special. I'll show you what I do to winterize the cabin in the homestead here so that we don't have to worry about freezing during the winter. Now, the one bad thing about being completely off the grid and having my own like sandpoint well is that thing has to be winterized. I went ahead and I kind of painted it different colors so that it wasn't sticking out like a sore thumb. If you remember in past videos, it was bright red. So I'll show you how I winterize this thing, and that way if you have your own pitcher pump, you'll know how to winterize it too. For the installation, if you remember, I put in, I don't know if the camera can see it, but I put in this ball valve, and this ball valve keeps it so that it's constantly primed. All that we're going to want to simply do is open up that ball valve so that the water can drain back into the well, and we don't have to worry about this freezing and breaking. And then I can already hear it sucking. I don't know if the camera can pick that up or not, but you can hear the water releasing and sucking back into the well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go wait for this to finish breaking vacuum, and then I just cover it with a 5-gallon bucket so that we don't get any water or contaminants that set inside the top here. Okay, and I heard it completely break vacuum, so I just put this bucket on, and this too I kind of speckled spray paint all over just so it kind of blends in with the natural settings here, just because I do have some people that trespass from time to time and I don't want them to be destructive of this. And the snow is kept from melting and going into the well and everything by just simply putting the bucket on to cover the pump. So alright, let's get back to the cabin and we'll go ahead and we'll start winterizing the smoke pipe and the stove. I'm gonna have to clean all the dust out of here, or the ashes. I don't know if you could see that when I opened this up, but the ashes just went flying everywhere. But before I do that, I'm gonna teach you a little trick that I had on one of my other videos a while ago. So I'll repeat it for people that are new to the channel. And that is, just take a bowl of the ashes out of your wood burning stove and mix it with nothing more than just straight water until you kind of get a paste that's formed. I'll get a little bit more in here and I'll show you what this is all about. Okay, you can see it's just a paste of wood ash, and we're going to go ahead and get that put on just a paper towel, and then hopefully the camera picks it up. Like right in here, it's all cloudy. You can't even see through it, and that's because I've been burning some wood that's slightly not seasoned correctly or all the way through. Last year, if you remember correctly, I had a little bit of a late start on the season, so I wasn't able to get a lot of stuff done, and I was under the gun, under the wire, and when I cut my wood, it was probably a little bit wetter than what it needed to be. You know, obviously, the drier your wood, the better it's gonna burn for you. But an easy way to take that staining off the glass is to use this mixture of just straight water and then the ash that comes out of your wood burning stove. And it doesn't take much effort. You know, we're doing this real time. I'm just talking to you while we're doing this. I've tried everything from you know, different solutions of commercial cleansers and whatever. And it just seems like it takes forever to get that stuff off. But if you just use straight water and the ash from your wood burner, take a look at this. I'll just wipe this off with some clean water, and you can see with just a couple seconds worth of effort, that glass is all clean again, and it has taken all that ugly staining off. So now when I have a fire tonight, I can go ahead and look at it like I'm looking at a regular fireplace, not like I'm looking through some ugly orange screen that's blocking my view. So there you go. That took me all of, I can't see the time on the camera, but I'm guessing probably under 2 minutes. And the glass is pretty much all clean and ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and it's been a few hours since I had a fire in here. So I'm going to go ahead and scrape all the ash out, and I'll dump that out in a spot outside one of my fire pits where I don't have to worry about anything starting on fire in case there is any hot coals in there. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then after we clean the ash out of here, pretty much we're set for the winter. I'm ready to go ahead and embrace the colder temperatures, and there's nothing like taking care of your wood burning stove. It's the heart of your cabin. If you don't take care of the stove, you can't expect it to take care of you. And now I don't have to worry about having any fires. I should have showed you the inside of the pipe when I cleaned it all out. It was full of ash. I couldn't believe how much ash I got out of here, and charcoal that I got out of here in one season. So make sure that you go ahead and you clean yours yearly. Don't skip a year. You'll regret it. Your life is worth more than that. So, all right, let's get to cleaning some of this ash out of here. And then lastly, now that I've got some of this ash cleaned up, the last thing that I want to inspect on here is this gasket on your door. Make sure that it's decent. Mine, I put a new one in the end of last season, and so I know it's good. I'm not going to do a whole lot with that, but at least inspect it and make sure that it makes a tight seal on your door. You don't want to get any carbon monoxide poisoning, which brings up a good point. I got new batteries today. We're going to go ahead and put those in our carbon monoxide detector. Okay, so we are all set. I've got my carbon monoxide detector all set, and that's a must-have when you have a wood burning stove. So that's in here. We'll go and check our fire alarms, but I'm not going to do that on the camera. I've got a couple things I need to do yet before deer season. I brought up an old rifle that I haven't used in quite some years, so I'm going to go ahead and set up a target, take a couple shots with that to make sure that that's zeroed in, and then I think my chores are all done for the weekend, so I can relax. I've got a friend coming over, and I think we're going to probably walk for some grouse this afternoon. But let's go ahead and sight that rifle in, and we'll see how we do. All right, we're shooting at about 50 yards, and that's me right there, and there's the red dot. I'll just give her one or two more shots, and we'll have it dialed in. That's pretty dang close. I don't think I'm going to worry about it. But, yeah, it should be good for this season. So the rifle is sighted in, and I think that's going to be good enough for my liking. I've had that gun since dinosaurs walked the face of the earth, and you can tell it's not a high dollar gun. I think I brought it brand new for $89, but I usually like to test shoot it, and I use that as my backup gun. This year, with the shortage of ammunition, the one good thing about that gun is I have stockpiled lots of rounds of ammunition for that. So unless a miracle happens and the ammunition comes out for my regular gun that I shoot, I might end up shooting that gun for deer hunting. But we'll see how it goes. But thank you so much for joining me at the cabin. That wolf is back. Stay to the very end. I'll throw in a couple of pictures of him running around the property. Being that he's back, we really don't see any deer anymore. But that's okay. You know, it's the way nature is. And what are you going to do? I'll probably end up hunting southern part of the state where we don't have wolves, and I'll probably publish a video on that as well. But thank you so much for joining me this week on Carl's Off the Grid. We've got a couple things in the works. I want to go ahead and upgrade the solar this winter. I'm going to take out a whole bunch of trees around the cabin here. I'll see if I can get them in camera here. But my main focus for this winter is I'm thinking of upgrading the solar, and obviously before I can upgrade the solar, all these trees here in the background are going to have to come out, and that's where I want to have the sun coming from. The sun goes across the horizon here, and right now with the solar setup that I have, I know it's just a basic solar setup, but it served its purpose. I picked it up cheap, and I wanted to use it for when I built the cabin. But now that we're in the cabin, we see that there's a few other things we want to change. I want to look into maybe getting a mini refrigerator, and that old one that I had featured in a couple videos ago. It's a nice refrigerator, but it just draws too much power. And then I want to work on this winter maybe upgrading the solar as well, so that we can get a a TV and some of the more modern conveniences here at the cabin. So thank you so much for joining us. For those of you that are new, appreciate you coming and checking out the channel. For my subscribers that have been with us for a while, thank you for your continued support. We'll catch you next week on Carl's Off the Grid.